Alright, so I figured I need to quit saying that. First and foremost, people think I'm batshit crazy because I keep referring to me and Max as we, and people assume that I'm with somebody else, so they automatically, it's just me saying this. And I always say, we are doing this, and I mean me and Max, but people don't understand that, I've been alone with the dog for the last week and a half, so regardless, we just got back from Moose Lodge. We were only intending on spending a night there. Well, actually, we finished up in Waskesiu, and then we headed east, took some back roads, which were incredible. There was so many sights to be seen through there. And we ended up passing through 3 separate campgrounds, provincial parks, and none of them seemed right, none of them seemed to fit. And we kept going down the road, and we ended up at this place called Moose Lodge. And wow, like right off the bat, they took us in, and they had 1 spot left, and so it was perfect. And we met so many people. It was like a little village, like a community campground, and I'd say probably 95% of the people who were staying there were seasonal. And so the first night we got there and set up camp, just basically got set, we were ready to spend the night, and then the next morning we woke up and went, and they had coffee that they were giving out at 8 in the morning. So we went and got coffee, and as soon as we were leaving, we were planning on going, and one of the people who was a seasonal camper there showed up. His name was Kyle, and he offered to take me fishing in the morning. So he said the only stipulation was that I couldn't bring Max along, and so I went up to the front and asked if anybody would be willing to look after him for the day. And like 7-8 people volunteered right off the bat, and it ended up Colin and Marjorie ended up taking him for the day. And I went out fishing with Kyle, ended up catching a couple lake trout, and it was my first lake trout I've ever caught, and it was amazing. Went out on the boat with him, and oh my god, it was beautiful on this lake. And we brought it in, and he showed me how to fillet them, and we ended up going, me and Kyle, back to his campground and chatted for a bit, and then I went to go pick up Max, and I guess he spent the entire morning with Colin and Marjorie out in the bush foraging for mushrooms. And he must have had the time of his life, because as soon as I took him back, he ended up sleeping for 5-6 hours that afternoon. It was hilarious. He was having none of it. Every time I went to go take him for a walk, he was like, "Ugh, Dad, no, get out of here. I'm so done with this." Hey? So funny. And it ended up, I was planning on leaving right after that, but Colin and Marjorie invited us over for an African dinner. And so Colin is originally from South Africa, Rhodesia, before it turned into Zimbabwe. And it was incredible. We stayed there again last night and woke up this morning, and they were trying to convince us to stay again and again. They wanted us to stay there forever. They said we fit in just like the family. So, oh man, it was incredible. I figured that I would just stop and make this video before I forgot their names, but yeah, we met Kyle, Cody, Terry, Daryl and Carol are the ones who own the campground. Carol's dad, Bill, their whole family was there visiting. They're our neighbors. They had a son named Tanner who was just thrilled with Max. Max was a celebrity on this site. Like, everybody could not get enough of him. It was amazing. I've never felt so welcomed and so loved, honestly, and since I've come to any campsite here, it was incredible. And we're carrying on. We're going through Flin Flon. I'm actually at an intersection right now between Highway 106 and Highway 165. I've yet to decide where exactly I want to go, so I'm gonna bust out the map and see where today's journey is gonna take me. We'll take some videos along the way. Unfortunately, where we are right now, as you can see, is pretty much Max's most hated place ever, because I don't know if you can see them or not, but there are horseflies everywhere, and not one, not two, but hundreds. And Max has developed a sincere, boiling, deep hatred for bugs of all kinds. Like, oh, that's what Colin and Marjorie said when they took him out there, is that he just he was beyond himself with these bugs. He couldn't stand it. And it was so funny, because I knew that he was like that. He's a big baby. He's a big suck. Regardless, we'll see you later in our journeys. Mwah.